Hi, Eric Poulin here with Calendar Budget. Chris writes in asking, I charge a lot of expenses to a credit card each month and then pay the credit card off in full. How do you suggest I make those entries? Would I make entries, for instance, for food on the day I charge it to my credit card, and then an entry for credit card on the day I pay it in full? Hope this makes sense. Well, this is a common question. Thanks, Chris, for writing in on that. I just thought I'd spend a moment here and describe how I usually take care of that in the way that we recommend. So I'm logged into our demo account here. There's actually no credit card in this demo account, so I'm going to go ahead and create a new account for a credit card. I'm just going to add a new account here, and I'm going to say manually enter data, and I'm not actually going to enter anything. We'll just call it credit card, and we'll finish without entering anything. We do need a starting balance. We're going to set a starting balance of 0 because hopefully you're paying off your credit card every month. So now we have an empty account here for our credit card. Now, if you're spending with your credit card, then yes, I would recommend that you come into Calendar Budget, and I'm going to backdate these. So today is the 28th of January, but let's say on the 12th you spent some money on some food, and maybe that was $200. You did some groceries, and I would set a category for food and attach that to your food category. That way you're still accounting for your food spending over in your categories on the left hand side. And then later on in the month, let's say you spent $50 on gas. $50 on gas, we'll call that a car expense. And then again, later on in the month, you spent, say, $150 on water for your house. This is like your water bill for the house. And I'll attach that to the house category in this example. And then later on in the month, what you want to do then is you actually want to pay off your credit card. We see now on the 28th, we have a negative balance of $400. That's how credit cards operate, usually with a negative balance. So what we want to do now is do a transfer. So I'm going to just create a new entry here. This is going to be a pay off credit card entry. I'm going to pay off the full amount, so I know that that's $400, and I'm going to set it to be a transfer, and watch what happens when I switch it to a transfer. Now we have an extra field here, transferred from account. So we're going to say this is coming from my checking account, and it's going to go to my credit card account. And just as I look up here, I notice that I don't have enough money in my checking account, so I'm going to take it from my savings in this particular case. And the category that I assign, it doesn't really matter, particularly for the category, although I'm going to assign it to banking, because when we create this new event, which I'll go ahead and do, so we have now a positive transaction here on the credit card of $400, which makes my daily balance now 0 for the credit card. But if I switch over to savings, I'll see a commensurate negative amount. So that's how a transfer works. It's subtracted from one account, added to the other, and because it's a subtract on one and an add to the other of the exact same amount on the same category, it has a null effect or no effect whatsoever. So you won't see any change happen over in your category. So that's why I was saying it doesn't really matter that much which category this transaction goes to. However, over in our credit card, all of these individual transactions that happened, they are associated to their individual categories, and they will count properly. So that's the way that we recommend you do it. If you're using your credit card for payments, track them on the day that they happen, or if you're like my bank, the transaction usually doesn't show up until it's processed, which can be 1 or 2 days later. Sometimes I'll track it on the day it actually happens, sometimes when it is posted to my account on the credit card bill. But make sure to categorize that correctly, and then when you actually make your payment, it's just going to be a transfer within Calendar Budget. So long as you have your 2 accounts as tabs at the top, you should be able to do that effectively. Hope that helps, and thanks for your question, Chris.